𝙎𝙈𝙊𝙃 back with another video. I hope that you guys all enjoyed today's video. Today's video is a new what if. No, I am not forgetting about the other what ifs that I have recently started up. Those will all soon become movies or get more parts. The point is I will make sure to finish them for obvious reasons. Sorry if I sound kind of out of breath. I recently had a little bit of an asthma attack, so I had to take my puffer. So if at any point you hear like my breath undertone, I apologize, and I hope that it doesn't distract you from overall the experience of listening to the video. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button as per usual, and we can now begin the video. What if Sakura was an Uzumaki? Part 0. So in this part 0, we're just going to be doing the backstory of the what if. So in part 1, we can truly begin and just get everything out of the way in this part so that part 1 can be even better and without all of the backstory just cluttering it. Now, what is the backstory? So obviously this is a what if that focuses on Sakura and how she would affect the story if she is an Uzumaki. Hence, what if Sakura was an Uzumaki? Now, we know in the Naruto timeline that Sakura has 2 loving parents. And, well, she doesn't in this timeline due to the fact that, well, the Uzumaki are all but dead. Now, how is Sakura an Uzumaki? Well, Sakura Haruno is no longer a Haruno, but instead an Uzumaki with the name Haruno. Similar to the way that Naruto is an Uzumaki, yet his father's last name was Namikaze. In this timeline, it's kind of just swapped. Her name is still Sakura Haruno, but her real last name is Uzumaki. Now, although that does vary from the Naruto that we know, as, well, you could consider Namikaze and Uzumaki to both be his real last name. For Sakura, her real last name is Uzumaki, and it's just Haruno because her parents thought it best to basically cover up the fact that she was an Uzumaki, since they were feared and it could put them in danger if anyone knew that she was an Uzumaki. Now, as far as her physical appearance goes, I see no reason why I have to change her hair color. Due to the fact that in this timeline she is not a full Uzumaki, but instead a rare half-breeded Uzumaki, I think that pink hair suits her just fine, and that you could even call it a genetic mutation throughout and going down the line of the Harunos. Correction, Sakura is a full Uzumaki in this timeline, and her last name is still Haruno because, like I mentioned earlier, her parents just wanted to give her the last name Haruno to protect her from danger, as she is an Uzumaki. She was an orphan, just like Naruto. She would grow up in a similar way to Naruto, although she wouldn't have to deal with any of the hate from the village. Many people even pitied her. They believed that she was wronged, as she was left an orphan, such a kind little girl left to fend for herself. But whilst being alone, she realized that the only person that she had was herself, and possibly even people like herself. She met a boy named Naruto until eventually her and Naruto formed a friendship and Naruto left the orphanage. This was because he actually got his own apartment under, of course, the watching eye of Hiruzen Sarutobi. But Sakura, of course, didn't know this, and so she was left alone again to fend for herself in the orphanage. And, well, slowly but surely she clung on to the idea of strength, of power, of her own self-worth and chakra. Now, you see, the real reason I decided to do this what if was due to the fact that Sakura, in a lot of cases, suffers from Kishimoto's ability to only write one kind of strong female character, which isn't anything to him. I think he's a wonderful, obviously, mangaka, one of my favorites, right beside Oda and guys like that. But the problem with how he wrote Sakura was that even in part 2 of Shippuden, when she got stronger, it was because she wanted to catch up to Naruto and Sasuke, and not because of her own want, her own need to do so. And what I mean by that is her own need to get stronger, not for others, but for herself. And if it was going to be for others, then it shouldn't be for the 2 male protagonists of the series, but rather it should be for everyone. Heck, she could have the ideals of wanting to get stronger so that she could help Konoha in a future war effort. She could have the ideals of wanting to be stronger so that she can heal members of Konoha and just help her village. Or option 3, which is what she's going to be doing in this timeline, which is to get stronger for herself. Now, I'm well aware that many of you guys might not like this what if because it's Sakura. Sakura generally isn't a great character to talk about in what ifs just because of how she's looked at in the actual Naruto series. I don't think that she's a 10 out of 10 character. I don't think that a lot of characters are a 10 out of 10 character. But we're going to try to change Sakura and try to make her into a good / better character in this timeline. With that being said, we can now continue the backstory. And so obviously, Sakura, thirsting for power, would want to get stronger, and so she would. She would learn as much as she could in the local libraries of the Hidden Leaf Village, once created by 𝙎𝙈𝙊𝙃𝙃, and she would study as much as she could about the ninja world and, well, chakra as a whole. And so eventually, she would learn chakra control on her own and by herself. You could call this feat that of a young child prodigy, but Sakura Uzumaki wasn't done there. Not only did she learn chakra control, but she learned how to amp her power, her physical strength, that is, with her own chakra. Similarly to how she does after training with Tsunade. But if Tsunade is like the pinnacle of using chakra control to amp your physical power, then Sakura is still but a mere fish in a gigantic ocean. Now, with that being said, this does very much so increase her physical power, and as a young child, only being 6 years old at this time, she definitely has a very bright future ahead of her. With that, she wanted more and more power. She, like I said, yearned to be stronger, because she knew that in a world of winners and losers, in a world where power was the main decider in a lot of things, that her being a strong kunoichi would not only help her village, not only help her, but it would make her be able to accomplish so much more. And so she continued to learn and try until one day something happened. What is this thing? Well, she passed out. And when she awakened, there was a beast, a monster, if you will, inside of her. Similarly to how Naruto can enter his subconscious, that's where Sakura was now, and she could quite literally see a monstrous entity in her own subconscious, chained and confined with a seal. Sakura said nothing, but would slowly ask what the creature was. My name is Hana. I am, well, your people would call me a beast. They would probably label me as a tailed beast, but we are nothing alike. The first Hokage, 𝙎𝙈𝙊𝙃𝙃, created me. By the offset of his wood style, I was imprisoned and never let out. Eventually, I grew power and stronger, and over time, similarly to tailed beast when you kill them, my chakra formed in another place, because 𝙎𝙈𝙊 sealed me away. Your parents then later sealed me in your body, which is why I'm here now. This seal does not allow me to leave, but I can use my chakra through you. I no longer wish for a life of anger and vengeance. My days of fighting humankind are over, long behind me, but I can help you. If at any time you are in danger, you can call on me. Call on Hana, and I promise I'll be there for you, no matter the circumstance. That boy, the one that you befriended, Naruto Uzumaki, I believe. You and him share a similar heritage. Oh, and one more thing you should know. He is the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. So not only should you treat him with respect, but understand that the people of this village resent him. They hate him. And they treat him with such ire that you would think that he was scum. All things considered, he is just a boy. So treat him like a human. And never forget that you are too an orphan. Remember that you came from nothing. Use that to your advantage. Use your anger, your pent-up rage for yourself. Also, if you can hear stuff in the background, that's just my family talking. A family member of mine just got back from work and is talking with my sister, older sister. Hope that's not TMI, me going kind of into my own life, but it shouldn't be. With that being said, this was part 0, and that's just about it for the backstory. That's how Sakura gets her strength. She learns it on her own. She has the chakra to do so as she's an Uzumaki, and she has the wits as her parents are much smarter and kind of passed on that gene to Sakura, who in her own right, even in, well, the original timeline, is pretty smart for a 𝘾𝙍𝙈𝙄𝙉𝘼. Not to say that 𝘾𝙍 are usually dumb, but it's just me saying ninja, but like a female ninja. Anyways, yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. This might not be a well-adored series, but it's a series I want to do. What if Sakura was an Uzumaki? Part 0. And with that being said, Rami X.